Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my complete makeup palette collection. So we're going to start off with eyeshadows, we're going to move through to contouring and face products, and then we're going to go on to highlighting palettes. So I'm going to get through this as quick as I can. I will list all of the items in the description box for you if you want to go and check any of those out, and let's just jump straight into the video. Okay guys, so I'm going to start off with eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to start with the drugstore eyeshadow palettes and the ones that are a more affordable price. So the first one that I have in my collection is this W7 The Naughty 9 eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. Now I picked this up from an outlet place where you can get cosmetics and things like that for like really affordable prices. This was only about £3, so that was an absolute bargain. I don't use it that much, but I probably should do. Then the next eyeshadow palettes that we have that are sort of drugstore are the two Sleek Makeup Eye Divine Mineral Based eyeshadow palettes. I've talked about these before. I'll probably be talking about these for a very long time to come. They're amazing. I've used these two today to do my makeup that I'm wearing now. And these ones retail for, I think it's £8.99 in Boots, which is a UK drugstore. So they are super affordable. Okay, so moving on to the slightly more sort of expensive shadows, I have my Z palettes. So I currently have two Z palettes. The first one that I have is mostly full of Makeup Geek and MAC shadows. There are a couple of glitters in this one as well. There are gaps in here at the moment, so this is what this one looks like at the minute, and like I say, it's got a few gaps in. Some of the missing pans from this palette are actually in my Travel Z palette, so I'll get to that one in a second. Like I say, these ones are all MAC and Makeup Geek shadows, and these three down the side here, hopefully you guys can see, are pressed glitter pigments, and they're amazing. A friend of mine actually made those for me. She is super talented. So moving on, I have the Travel Size Z palette. Now this one I use generally if I am going somewhere and I wanted to take certain pans of eyeshadow with me. So this is what the inside of this one looks like at the minute. As you can tell, this is probably the palette that I go to on most days, and the bottom shade here is an Anastasia Beverly Hills contour shade. So that came out of the contour palette, which I will get to in a sec. So yeah, these, as I say, are just MAC again and Makeup Geek. This one is a Makeup Geek shadow, and this is in the shade Anarchy. This is one of my all-time favourite eyeshadows at the moment. I think I've probably been using this for around 2 years, and I am absolutely obsessed. I think that Makeup Geek shadows are super affordable. You can just pick them up. You don't need to sort of buy them in bulk. You can just get them here and there. I normally get mine from Beauty Bay in the UK, which is an online retailer, and I absolutely love them. These are perfect for putting in your bag. You can also take out the pans if you've got any of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes with the glow palettes. You can take the pans out, you can pop them in here. These Z palettes are super handy. Okay, so moving on to palettes that are slightly more expensive, we have the Laura Mercier Eye Art Artists palette, and I was actually given this one for Christmas a few years ago. So I will open this one up and show you. Now this has mostly matte shadows in, there are a couple of shimmers in here, and I'm not going to lie, I don't really use this as much as I should. The colours in here are beautiful and they are so pigmented. I've just realised actually, now that I've opened it, that Cœur Royal, which is this one here, is literally one of my all-time favourite purple shadows. It's got a slight shimmer to it, and it just looks so nice in like autumn and winter time. I absolutely love it. Okay, so next palette in my eyeshadow palette collection is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I've mentioned this before. I've done a review and swatch video on this one as well, so if you haven't already checked that out, I will leave that one linked above so that you can go and have a look. And I will quickly get this out of the box in case you haven't seen that other video. So this is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and it just looks like this. Now this has been getting quite a lot of use recently. I'm sort of obsessed with this palette, as I've said before. There are a lot of shimmers. I do find that the shimmers in this pick up a hell of a lot better if you've got MAC Fix Plus on your brush as well. So that's a good tip. Okay, so moving on to contouring products. I have 3 contour palettes at the moment. The first of the contour palettes is the Laura Mercier contour palette, and this is a cream contour palette. I've mentioned this again in a previous video. This actually I mentioned in my terrible Laura Mercier customer experience video, and I think I mentioned it in a fails video as well. The palette itself is beautiful, the colours are lovely, however I cannot work with cream contours. I cannot get them to blend, they do not sit properly on my skin. I just feel like this was such a waste of money, and I did say at the time I was going to take it back to the store. However, I kept thinking if I keep hold of it, I'll use it, oh, I'll be able to do something with it, and it just never happened. So that was an absolute waste of money. That was about £35 in Selfridges as well. Next on the contour palette, we have the Anastasia contour kit, and this is the powder contour kit. This, every man and his dog, I probably think owns. Won't open it up and get it out because it's very, very messy inside, just because I use it all the time. But this is definitely one of my favourite contour kits at the moment. I do actually need to get myself another one because I did smash one of the pans a couple of weeks ago. Okie dokie. Then last of the contour palettes is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which looks like this. Mine is slightly dirty because, again, this one gets quite a lot of use. I'm obsessed with this. The highlighting shades in this palette are literally some of my favourite. I think that they just pick up on the skin so nicely. I'm going to quickly get it out and show you. And this is what the inside of this one looks like. So I have literally used this one and used it and used it and used it, and the shades still don't look like they've really been dipped into. I think my favourite highlighting one is this one. I don't usually use a sort of banana coloured setting powder under my eyes, but occasionally in the summer this is absolutely beautiful. So that is definitely one of my favourite contour palettes. So moving on to highlighter palettes, I have quite a few. I was obsessed at one point with buying the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kits. So I got quite a few of them, and when they were actually being shipped over here from the States, a few of them did arrive damaged. So thank God Anastasia Beverly Hills replaced them for me and sent me new palettes. So I did end up being able to keep some of the pans from the palettes that were broken. So I kept these ones in 2Z palettes. So some of these are from the Gleam kit, some of them are from Sundipped, and a couple of these ones are from the Sweets palette. In this Z palette here, I actually have a couple of eyeshadows that there isn't space for in my normal eyeshadow Z palette. So that's what the inside of this one looks like, and these shades are just beautiful. I don't use these on a daily basis. I think the purple sort of shade isn't really me. I just got super excited when the Sweets palette came out and ended up wanting to purchase it anyway. Moving on to my actual glow kits. I have 4 of them at the moment. I have Sundipped, Sweets, I have That Glow, and I have Gleam. And this is what these ones look like. So these, to be totally honest, don't get used that much anymore. I used to be absolutely obsessed with them. I would use them on a daily basis, but now I'm sort of more into more compact highlighters, I suppose. So the Mary Lou, I've mentioned that so many times in videos, and also the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. So I think they're really handy because you can just throw them into your handbag or into your makeup bag, and if you're going somewhere. But these ones are definitely nice to have just on your makeup table. So these do actually live in a palette drawer at the moment, and as I say, they don't really get much use. Hopefully I will remember that they're there now that I've got them out for this video and actually start using them again. So that was my makeup palette collection video. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button as well. And if you guys want to see a complete makeup collection video, drop me a comment in the comments box and I would be more than happy to do that. I've been meaning to sit down and get one of those videos filmed for quite a while, however I just haven't got around to it. So if you'd like to see a complete makeup collection, drop me a comment, let me know, and like I say, I will get that done for you, and I will see you guys in my next video.